you know what I mean? Sunnyside starts selling joints. Before you know it, we building up. The clientele is so big now. We got to represent the block. We got to protect the block. You know what I mean?
Good afternoon, everybody. We are 100 Years Enterprise, presenting Consequences of the Street Life, Season 6, the last 2 episodes. You know, we've been through a lot when it comes to filming these podcasts. It's, getting the word out, just being able to just let the people know who we are, where we come from, and why we do what we do. You know, and that's all about being able to amplify our voices based on where we come from, but now we amplifying other voices to get it where it needs to go. And so from there, I'm just gonna lean back and let my man Hamza, Patrick, open us up to our first guest, man, that's going up in here.
Okay, man. Again, man, happy Saturday for everybody who want to know what the day is. I just want to say, man, this is a blessed day for me, for 100 Years Enterprise, to talk about a esteemed colleague of mine. I'm going to say my big brother officially. This is my big brother. I embrace him completely. Love him with all my might, man. We've been through some tough times, and now we're on the other side. And we living good. And we're appreciating life. And so I won't even pause. I keep pushing, and I just say this, man. I'm glad to introduce the brother. You know what I mean? Keith Smith. I'm gonna go ahead and throw it out there if you don't mind. He come from Sunnyside. I mean, originally from Vallejo, but Hott Lips.
For sure.
You know what I mean? So I don't call him that, but we being authentic, we being true to who we are. You know, we ain't got nothing to hide from. You know, we changed, we made beautiful changes in our life. You know what I mean? And now we at a phase of celebrating and giving back. So, you know, we put it out there so you don't have to ask no questions. Again, man, how you doing, my brother?
Man, I'm great, man.
Yeah,
I'm
welcome to
doing
the
real
show,
good. For sure. You know, it's a blessing, though, to be here because, you know, me and you, you know, when we was behind the wall, we talked about this, man. For me to see it now, see it in action, you know, it's progress. Let me know things is working, bro. So I'm proud of you and Fahim, man. That's, you know, y'all not talking about it, y'all doing it, man. And that's, you know, a blessing. You know, like I say, I understand, you know, where I come from and how I grew up.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? You know, at that time, you know, it was in the 60s going to the 70s, you know what I mean, growing up in these neighborhoods, you know. When, first of all, let me say I'm from Arkansas, came to California and moved to Florida Terrace in Vallejo, you know, and I loved the Vallejo because it was a lovely place where you can grow up and have fun, you know what I mean? It wasn't that yet, you know. Then I turned around and moved to Oakland, and that's a different kind of animal. You know what I mean? It was like, you know, I had my first teacher was Ray Evans. Ray Evans was my first teacher, you know, and he was teaching me about the streets and how it go, you know. And get this here, I ain't nothing but 7, 8 years old at the time, you know what I mean? And that's 73rd and Lockwood in Oakland.
Okay.
And he had a lot of brothers. One of his brothers, you know, Ray used to teach me. First he taught me about dogs and pigeons. That's why I love them to this day.
So that's still your hobby today?
Yeah,
Okay.
today, for sure. But he started teaching me about the streets. But one of his brothers told him, he said, "Look, man, you're going to have to stay away from my brother." I said, "What?" He said, "Yeah, you're going to have to stay away from my brother." So I said, "Look, man, I ain't even tripping. That's your brother, man. I'm gonna talk to him and I'm gonna be around him." So I talked around. I said, "Look, man, your brother tell me, I got to bag up, you know." He said, "Look, man, don't you let nobody tell you got to do nothing. I mean, my brother and everybody else. This is the only way you get your respect."
Right.
So I'm like, "Hey, man, I don't want to fight your brother, though." You know what I mean? He said, "Man, you got to do what you got to do for your respect." So when his brother came back, I said, "Look, bro, I ain't trying to fight you or nothing, but I ain't finna back away from your brother."
And how old was you at that time?
I was 7 or 8 years old.
Okay.
And so I fire on him. You know what I mean? And
You was waiting for that.
I whoop him, But look, get this though. Get this though. Just like Ray said, after that he started respecting me.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? And I stuck with that, to get your respect, you know what I mean? So after that I moved to Sunnyside, what you was talking about. Oh yeah, that there, that was different. I mean, it was serious, And I'm a country boy.
Right.
You know what I mean? I can fight. I'll fight. I ain't scared of nothing. But these dudes was something, and it was a pecking order. You know what I mean? And I was at the bottom of the pecking order. You know what I mean?
So let me say something. Let me ask you a question. So by you being a country boy,
Yeah.
you come around all these city boys,
Right.
Do they look at you like, okay, we got one now?
Exactly.
Yeah, he said that, Keith, because that's how he. Because he's a country
No,
boy
no,
too.
no, no. But
I'm
that's
from Arkansas.
That's for real. Little Rock, Arkansas. That's where I'm
Stamps.
from. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so the elementary school was 3 blocks down. In the middle of the block, this is where all the little hard cats is at.
Right.
But you got to walk past them. So I walked past, whoop a couple of legs, whoop. So my partner, he said, "Let me wear your coat, man, to go to school." I let him wear my coat. He come back, he ain't got my coat. Where my coat? Where my coat at, man? You know what I mean? And he said, "Man, OC took it." "What? You didn't take my coat?" "Yeah." So I'm like, "Oh, man." So
I remember them days.
I tell my brother, I say, "Bro, check this out. Come with me, man. Brother down there took my coat." He say, "All right, come on." We go down there. We're in the middle of the block, and he got a balcony, and I holler up there, "OC." And he come out on the balcony. I said, "Man, throw down my coat." He said, "Bro, I ain't got your coat. It's my coat. If you want this coat, you gotta fight me." And I'm like, "Come on down, man. Come on down." He come down. But you got to know, OC was one of the top 3 toughest around there.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? So he come down there. We fight for about 45 minutes.
Damn.
And I whoop him. That took me way up to the top. You know what I mean?
After 2 fights.
That one fight,
Okay.
that one there, that took me up.
Right.
You took OC
And
there.
this one right here took me up to the top of the chains. So it wasn't no walking around the corner. We finna walk down this block every day now. You know what I mean? So my life started like that. But see, these dudes was like gangsters, young. I ain't never seen it. They was way faster than me. You know what I mean? But it started from there, bro. Then we started selling joints, $1 a joint.
Yeah.
$1 a joint.
Yeah.
And we opened up a block, you know what I mean? Sunnyside to start selling joints. Before you know it, we building up. The clientele is so big now. We got to represent the block. We got to protect the block. You know what I mean? I had some real good teachers though in life.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm not glowing. Don't get me wrong. I'm not
Absolutely
glorifying
not, for
this.
real.
You know what I mean?
got
I'm
it.
just telling the story. I'm telling the story on, how I got to where I got, as far as reputation out there in the streets.
So,
you know.
so in context, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you, how did you get into boxing like how you? Because you know, I'm gonna say it. Your history
Yeah.
is inked
Right.
in
Right.
Oakland
Right.
based on your skill set.
Right.
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 It was all. That's all people talked about.
Yeah.
Even
Right.
cats in my neighborhood from North Oakland.
Right,
You know,
right.
what was the boy I was telling you about that had hands? He wasn't ready for you though.
L.A.
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 It was
yeah.
so.
I don't want
how
to put
did-
you out there, L.A., but you wasn't ready, homie. Don't trip. You know what I mean?
So yeah, that was big
Yeah,
though. It was
yeah,
like
yeah.
before these huge. I mean, you know, you had the Sugar Ray Leonards and all that.
Right,
But
right,
as far
right.
as in the Bay,
Yeah.
man, that was big. And I was telling Fi,
Because people put him in music.
man,
Yeah.
In music.
Too short.
Right,
Short.
okay.
Well, how that happened was based on that I could fight. Boxing was a whole nother level.
Mm-hmm.
But fighting, I could fight. Natural fighter from the country, Arkansas, you're natural fighters.
Right.
It's your heart. Did you have a heart? I had a heart.
Right.
You know, I don't care how big you, how tall you, I learned how to fight. I had Nathan Osborne, may rest in peace, Johnny Fobbs.
Johnny Five.
Every day it was mandatory. Kenny Fobbs, Billy Joe Trent. It was mandatory that we get outside, go on the grass. You got to wrestle. You got to slap box. You got to box. Mandatory every day.
Yeah.
If you're gonna get money out here, you finna protect
hands
this here.
right
You finna get your skills up because you
Right.
gotta protect this here. You know, because when we first started in the game, it wasn't killing, it was fighting. You had to come from the shoulders to be sharp. You know what I mean? So, but I mean, we start boxing every day. You know what I mean? Then it was like turfs against turfs boxing. You know what I mean?
I heard
I'm gonna
about
say
that.
this, Danny.
I heard about that.
I'm gonna say this, Danny. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about, Danny. My partner, Danny. I love him to death.
Right.
You know what I mean? But
It's
he's-
good context.
He,
This is great.
He was 90th lover, and I was Sunnyside. You know what I mean? He come through, but he'll tell you today I didn't do it. I beat him 3 times. He come back. I gave him that respect. You know, he taller than me.
In one day?
No, not one day. Not one day. Not one day. But he come back.
Right.
He come back. We talk. We was in the pen together. He talk about, I'm the only one would fight you. And you the only one would kept getting beat up too. You know, but he'll say, he won. Only thing I beat him at is wrestling. Nah, I beat him every day. But this how I really got good. I had to go back to my first love in Vallejo, Ronnie Wynn.
OG Ronnie Wynn.
Ronnie Wynn was
OG Ronnie.
at that
Shout
time.
out to Ronnie Wynn,
hey, that
man.
dude. Hey,
Yeah, good
Fahim,
brother. Yeah.
that brother
Yeah.
was so good.
Yeah.
Back in the day, I go to College Park, man. I'm looking, and I'm looking at him. I'm looking at this karate dude. Him and this karate dude sparring.
Right.
I'm looking. I'm like, man, God, dog, that dude bad. You know? So I'm like, I'm finna go holler at this dude because I need that.
Yeah.
That's what I need to take back to Oakland. So I approach him. I say, look, man, won't you give me that, man? Teach me that. He say, you sure you want this? He said, if we start now, we gonna do it. I say, man, I want that. That man had me, he turned me into even-handed. You know what I mean? He had a sharp program to where it's, 1,000 jabs 3 times a day. You know what I mean? And he used to line up 20 brothers, and I used to have to box all of them without stopping. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Without stopping. I used to have to box 20 dudes.
And this in the neighborhood.
This in the neighborhood. The Crest.
okay.
In the crest.
In the Crest.
So that's I want to blame
In the
everybody.
crest.
And this is I want to say something, right? And this is why the youth need to hear this.
Yeah,
far as the upbringing.
Yeah.
How
Right.
we come up into how it is now.
Right,
We too quick and get the wrong introduction.
Right.
Now, go pick up a gun.
Right.
Don't think about it. You came up and we finna go to these 20 dudes.
Exactly.
You finna learn how to do these things before we go anywhere else.
Exactly.
Hey,
Hey.
but man, you had to be military minded. That
Yeah.
he
Hey.
tested your wherewithal.
Hey,
This
that is the endurance.
Right.
If
Yeah.
you got the skills, you can do. If you got the endurance, you can do the skills. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
And I remember I don't say, See, cause like we used to Royal Park. I mean, all the dope dealers, gangsters, whatever you have it, used to come bet money at the park. It'd be 85th, Sobrani Park, all over Hayward, cats coming in the box.
Yeah.
And they used to want to see me get beat up so bad, right? You know what I
I
mean?
want to see you lose, though.
Because I was the best. They wanted to see me. They wanted to see me lose. You know what I mean? So I can have that. But I never
cats
did.
be flying in. I
You know what I
remember.
mean?
They said cats flying in the box.
What I'm saying
Because he
is,
should tell me the story.
hey, it's real. It's real. I ain't just talking. I mean, I learned that good, man. It was like a work of art when I'm boxing. I might can't do nothing else, but boxing,
Right.
oh, I was good. And the only reason I didn't go pro because I got introduced to this game and I was making so much money as a youngster and having things my way.
Right.
I ain't finna leave this, but I didn't know at that time I could have got way more. I mean, my mind wasn't set like that. It wasn't ticking like that. You know what I mean? So I wasted a career, for the streets.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So, I mean, it taught me a whole lot. I mean, I learned a lot about the streets, man, but really, all that I got, all the glory you get from your neighborhoods, you know what I mean, and the recognition, I mean, it's not worth 36 years in prison.
It's not.
You feel what I'm saying?
It's not.
But at that time, we don't know. You know what I mean? We think we ain't gonna get. We be thinking we the slickest cat in the world. No, you human. You make mistakes. You feel what I'm saying? We make mistakes.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? But I'm glad that I had to go through what I had to go because I wouldn't have got it if I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
If I didn't go through that, I wouldn't have got it. I wouldn't have understood it to the fullest. You know what I mean? What I'm saying is that, them street life, the fun, the excitement, the women, the cars, the jewelry, it's not worth it, man. It's not worth your freedom. You know what I mean? And, I always had God in me, My mama planted that in the seed in me, God didn't turn away from me. I turned away from God.
Man.
You know what I mean? And the thing is, I had to pay the consequences. You feel what I'm saying? What I'm saying is, to all the young brothers out here, this glory you think in the streets, the end game to it is bad. It's bad because the thing is, sooner or later you get caught, you got to pay your dues. Absolutely. You know what I mean? You got to pay your dues, you know what I mean? I know brothers now that was in the game. I come back after 32 years. I come back. They intense. They in this and then that's the end game to it though. What I'm saying is it's not worth it. I had it wrong. You feel what I'm saying? I had it wrong. I'm thinking this is everything, And then when I do finally get caught up, you know what I mean, and I have to go, and the thing about it that I still didn't get it, cause for like 20 years I'm tearing things up in the penitentiary. You know what I mean? I'm in riots. I'm in whatever. I'm still with the whatever.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
So when you said you didn't get it, what was it? What didn't set in from the time you left the street up to like the last to 5 years after you left the streets? Because normally when we come to the pen, we leave the streets, we hit the pen and yards, we at our height.
Right.
Everything has escalated. I want to do this. I want to do that.
Right.
I'm mad at the world.
Right. See, I didn't get it because I still was doing it in the penitentiary.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? This is what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, it didn't hit me yet that these people got me locked up forever. I'm still trying to bring dope in. I'm still trying to tell this little woman to come in and bring me this sack, do this here. Until I met that one woman, she wasn't doing none of that.
Right.
But what I'm saying is that I didn't get it, man. Because I thought the game was everything, bruh. I live for the game, But when I went to that Pelican Bay shoe, it wasn't no more this in your ears. People wasn't in your ears saying this here. You wasn't hearing this, or you hear. Can you help me with this, or can you pay this, or can you fix this? It was me and God.
Let me jump in here on that, because I
Yeah.
think that it's something. It's a nugget I want you to put out there, right? Because at your height, right? The system in itself, right? There's a system within the system within the system when you're in the penitentiary, right? So your reputation was so like magnified. What I mean by magnified, I'm gonna break that down. Magnified is cats that was scared of you, cats that was telling the police when you weren't even doing nothing, he doing something. Because I went through partially of that too.
Right.
But led them to say, okay, we're gonna remove your element from the population, right?
Right.
Because you remember they put that tag on you where you supposed to be so-called BGF or whatnot,
Right.
and they gave you a determined to shoot, but you wasn't that.
Right.
So I'm just sharing that how when we talk about consequences of street life, how the design, the game has another side to it, and they play the game on the other side.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so I just wanted to give that element that you was removed based on putting a false title on you,
Right.
and then putting isolation.
Right.
Excuse me.
Right.
But yeah, that was deep.
I mean,
And so I remember that, and I remember when that happened, and it was, everybody that loved you was like, "Man, hold on," right? But it already took place.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I mean, that's imprisonment in prison. You know what I mean? I mean, it's based on, never in my life was I BGF. Never in my life. No disrespect to him or anything like that, And it's a thing where they knew it, though, but they couldn't give me the indeterminate as what I represented at that time, which was Kumi. They wasn't putting us in the shoe, in the indeterminate shoe. You know what I mean? So I end up.
Real quick, is it safe to say that the system knew the difference between BGF and Kumi?
Of course.
And on their own, they mixed it up.
Of course. Okay. What they did was, like I say, they knew they couldn't lock me up unless they put the title BGF on me.
Right.
So what they did was, I tried to get it took off. He said, we can't take it off. Why you can't take it off? You put it on there.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, matter of fact, I'm gonna tell you what happened was. This is what happened. I get into a riot. It's with BGF.
Right. You in Pelican Bay at the time?
No, I'm in New Folsom.
Okay.
We get into a riot. And the thing about it, when we get into the riot, I had just come from committee.
Committee classification.
Yeah, classification.
Yeah, classification.
And the warden told me, don't you get into another thing. If you do, you going to Pelican Bay. So what happened was, this brother do something, he do something, and I'm like, let me go holler at this brother. He said, yeah, man, your folks telling. I said, what? I said, folks, you got some paperwork? No, I ain't got no. Folks, don't let that come out your mouth no more then. If you ain't got no paperwork then, brother, you shouldn't be saying that. You feel what I'm saying? So I say, okay, don't do that, bruh. So turn around, one of my folks come out. He say, folks, what was that about? I say, man, I handled it, it's cool. Don't worry about it, it's good. He say, folks, but what was it about? I say, he had some paperwork on your folks or something. He say, what? Did he have it? No. He said, folks, let me go holler at him. I said, no. I said, no, folks, I already just told you I holler at him. Because I'm knowing what the warden said.
Right.
If I get into anything, I'm gone. So he said, folks, let me go holler at him, man. I'm not going to do nothing. I say, look, check this out. Go ahead and holler. Don't do nothing. So I go up to the table and I look around. I can see their demeanor, like, hostile. You know what I mean? And I'm like, before I can get it out, I'm like, hey, he found the boy and knocked the boy out.
Ooh.
So now I run down here, and when I get down there, I'm knowing the whole little crew run with me.
Let me say, because for the artist, what people don't know, even though the warden told you don't do it,
Right.
that's your folks win.
Right.
You had to go.
No choice.
No choice.
No choice.
So people don't really understand it about prison. So I want to just get that out.
That's the situation in the penitentiary. You got shot callers, you got leaders, whatever come down the change, that's what you got to do. It all depends on where you at. If you ain't on the top, you got to do it.
Right.
That's what you got to do in prison. If you told to do something, that's what you gonna do too. You know what I mean? But anyway, man, when I get down there, it's a riot. Dude got a thing, he trying to use it, and both of them stab each other.
Well, I'm gonna say what it was said though. It said you knocked out 4 dudes, Keith.
Hey, look, they put a lot on it. They put a lot on it. They put a lot
3
on
and a
it.
half.
They put a lot on it. But they got smoke, folks. You know what I mean? And that shot me up there. And when I get up there, man, I'm trying to get out of there.
Right.
I got to go up there, and they say I'll be gone in 3 weeks or so, right? Or whatever it was. But this how I go to the hole. 2 dudes riding kites, shooting them back there with my name on it. You know what I mean? Saying this and that. And then this officer's name, what was his name? Drown. His name was Drown. I'm finna go the next week, man. I'm out of here. That man come get all my property. And when he come back and bring it back, he said, what'd he say? He said something to the point where, yeah, you're all right. I'll finish it in a week. Next thing I know, I'm in the cell, and they say, yeah, the officer want to see you that's down in the booth. I go down there. It's 5 officers down there, goon squad.
No.
Tell me, man, where you going? Like, you finna go to the hole. For what? Hey, man, you going to the hole. Turn around. You deal with that when you get there. What? And I'm like, hey, man, this bull, man. You know what I mean? Well, you'll figure it out when you get back there. That's what you do.
That's how they do.
You know what I mean? And they will lock you up, bro.
Man, what?
You know what I mean? They will lock you up. And that experience was based on. That's why I really got a chance to get back close with God, because he was basically like, when I'm in there, I'm like, tossing and turning. I'm like wrestling.
Throwing you in the shoe.
Yeah, I'm wrestling with God now. I'm tripping. But God talking to me though. He tell me, he say, look, man, you got to give up this name. You got to give up this name. I say, well, who I'm going to be then? If I give up my name. He say, you going to be Keith. I say, but what about all the power I had, He say, you never had no power. I had the power,
Wow.
So,
Wow.
right there, man, I made up my mind that I'm changing my life.
Mm-hmm.
I say, when I get out of here, I ain't let nobody call me Hott Lips no more. I'm done, man. See, I seen 3 of my founders die in the penitentiary. I looked at it, I said, that's going to be me if I don't change. If I don't change my ways, that's going to be me. So, right then, I changed my mind, bro. And I had a relapse when I got out because they asked me for something. And instead of me sticking to it, oh man, we doing bad. Ooh, I went for it, you know. So therefore, after that, I was done after that though. That's when I come back and with my brother, get down there with him, you know, and
Can I interject that? Can I put something with that?
yeah,
Because I remember you said with me. I remember I didn't know your change had took place, but I knew we was from the town. So
Right.
that was big to me.
Right.
And I had moved in with I forgot my boy from some Brandy Park. He was going home. I had got to sell when we was in that unit
right,
in Tracy. I had just got to Tracy. And I had went through a few things. And they said you was eligible to come up there.
right,
But nobody wanted him to come. Nobody wanted to sell it up with him.
right.
So
right.
I said, nah. It's a town legend. I respect that, bro. That's big brother.
Right.
Before we even was intimate.
Right.
And I went down there to the unit and said, man, get your stuff.
So how long was that after you say, I'm finna change, I'm finna let all this go? So in part 2, we gonna get into that.
Right.
A little bit.
Right.
Not too deep.
Right.
A little bit when you say, okay, I'm gone.
Yeah.
And then your life started really to just change.
Right there. When I got to Tracy, when I left the hole, when I got to Tracy, you know, I told everybody, look, man, I'm done. I'm done with this year. If you're doing right, okay, I see you. If you're not doing right, I'm done, bro.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm going home. I advise you to do the same thing because I'm through, you know? And, like, if you don't hear me, if you don't listen to the wisdom and understanding, that's on you, bro. Because you can be right here where my brother at, and you doing wrong, I'm going to act like I don't see you, bro.
That's right.
You know what I mean? I mean, if you're doing right, I'm going to do everything I can for you in the right way, bro.
Absolutely.
You know? But my
Absolutely.
thing was, man, I can't beat it. I knew I couldn't beat it, man. You know what I mean? Can't nobody beat it. We tell ourselves that. The only way you beat it is turn around and start doing the right thing.
That's it.
As long as you in that left lane, that to try to come up the wrong way, man, what you put in is what you get out. You know what I mean? And a lot of brothers don't understand that. You keep chasing something that you will never catch.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Right. And with that being said, we're gonna wrap this first part of the session up. It was great.
For it to close.
It was great. It was good. But hey, part 2 is coming right back.
What's happening?
We just going to break. Part 2 coming right back. My name is Fahim.
I'm Patrick.
I'm Keith.
We Consequences of the Street Life. We'll
All
be
the
back.
time.
Stay tuned.
All the time. Yes, sir.
And that was